to speak for yourself. Let's get to Baker Mayfield. Came into the game Sunday against the Steelers with injured ribs, 2 picks, including 1 to the house, and 4 sacks later, and Baker was pulled late in the third quarter for backup quarterback Case Keenum. Head coach Kevin Stefanski said it was for his quarterback's protection, not lack of production. Y'all take a listen.
I didn't want to see him get hit one more time, and that's I put that on myself. Went into this game knowing we had to keep him clean, and we didn't do a good enough job. So that starts with me, obviously. And he's a very, very tough player, and I know he wants to fight, but it's a long season. We got a game next week, and I didn't feel like it was the right thing to put him back out there.
I know how I feel. But Marcellus, are you buying that the Browns pulled Baker Mayfield for Baker's protection?
No, not at all. This is a decision you could have made pregame. If you wanted to protect him, you would not sign him up for the game of football on a Sunday afternoon because there is hell to pay. Oh, coach, I don't want him to get hit one more time. How about you don't want him to get hit one time if he really is that compromised? But he wasn't that compromised. He was compromised to a point, but that point was, hey, let's see how he plays. And then what you got was the answer to how he performs, and now you want to hide behind, oh, it's injury protection. No, it's not. It's the fact that you wanted to send a message. You wanted to send a message upstairs to General Manager Andrew Berry. You wanted to send a message to the pulse of all of those Cleveland Brown dog pound fans. You want to read their posts. How y'all gonna feel if we move on for Baker Mayfield? Because I ain't leaving. I just got here. It's my first year as a head coach. I ain't draft this dude. I don't love this dude. And now I have to make sure you guys understand this team is being compromised and held back by one position and one player. It's Baker Mayfield. So you can say what you want to soften the landing, but in reality, this is one of those muscular moves. You're sending a message.
I agree with wholeheartedly. The Browns didn't pull Baker Mayfield to preserve Baker Mayfield. Football is the ultimate game of relationships. That's why there's so many relational correlations. And this is very similar to, man, we have to get out of this relationship because I don't want to hurt you. I'm looking out for you. Man, I ain't buying that. They getting out that joint because they want to protect themselves.
Exactly.
The Browns pulled Baker Mayfield to protect themselves and to get backup quarterback Case Keenum some live bullets. He ain't played a game with the Browns. Remember, Case Keenum was the quarterback under Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Browns, when Kevin Stefanski was the OC for the Minnesota Vikings. Was 11-3 with Kevin Stefanski under the Vikings. Also, keep in mind, Case Keenum is basically a less famous Baker Mayfield. Look at the full screen. Don't just take my word for it. Look at the numbers. I'm going to show y'all. Look at the game management. Careers is starting quarterback. Case Keenum versus Baker Mayfield. Completion percentage, Baker Mayfield a little bit less. Giveaways, Baker Mayfield has more giveaways. Sacks, Case Keenum gets sacked a little bit less. Passing yards per attempt, that's where Baker has them, but it's also in a league in which the ball is getting passed further each and every year. Case Keenum is Baker Mayfield without the drama, without the attitude, who has actually won games in the NFL at a higher level. So I don't think that they did it for Baker's protection. I think they did it out of self-preservation. But LeVar Arrington, he's back with us. So, LeVar, tell me what you think. Are you buying that the Browns pulled Baker to protect him?
Actually, I am buying it, guys, and I'm going to tell you why. They came into this week and they talked about, listen, ride with me for a second here. They set the stage for Baker Mayfield to be this juggernaut, David versus Goliath champion over the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Now, going into this game, you said that the man's ribs are hurt. You said that one of his best targets in Odell was sick. So you've already given the precursor that we have an excuse built in if these things happen. You touched on that, Marcellus, right? You go into this game, if Baker balls out and that stone hits Goliath in the head and he drops, then what are we saying about Baker Mayfield today? Not what we're saying right now, but it didn't hit him. Baker Mayfield, just like with the football, he missed with the stone. It didn't hit, all right? So now we're taking you out. Why? Because his ribs are sore. We did not think that, you know what, going into this game, 17-game streak of losing in Pittsburgh against this steel curtain team. 17 times they've gone to Pittsburgh and have lost in consecutive times. I'm pulling him. Why am I pulling him? Because you can't win, Rock. You can't win. Don't come out of retirement to fight because he killed Apollo Creed. Don't go over there and fight this man. You knew not to come over here and mess with these people, and yet you did. He got him out of the game before he was going to get hurt. I buy it. I also believe that it was a setup strategically if they won to be able to build him up. But if they lost, you had a built-in get out of jail free card, we'll say.
Look, I love that example. I give you that. You can't win. Maybe I can.
You can't win.
Oh, he had me in tears. Maybe I can, man. Oh, but you know what? Boxing is an individual sport. This is football. Guess what Kevin Stefanski is saying? We can't win with him at quarterback when we go against top teams. Look at that point differential in their own division when they face Baltimore, Pittsburgh, 76-13. Yuck. 6.4 yards per attempt. 26 in the NFL, Baker Mayfield, former #1 overall pick. So tell me this, since we want to say it's just for protection of the ribs, even though playing football is going to hurt everything on your body every single time you play it, if this was a close game, would he have got pulled? No. Hey, Coach, wait a minute. What if he was out there balling, even in a lopsided, and you guys were winning? Would you have pulled him? No. You know why? Because it's not about no damn ribs. As soon as you go out there and play football, your pinky gonna hurt, let alone your ribs. So this is a situation where we can hide and say, you know, Baker, we're looking out for you, but in reality, we're looking out for ourselves and making sure Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski have job security outside of whatever Baker Mayfield does at the quarterback position.
What was really going on, Sale, because those are phenomenal points. I'm glad I ain't on the other side of your argument because I wouldn't have won that one. What's going on, I think, is Kevin Stefanski is trying to protect the team psychology. The Browns are like 4-25-1 in the last several seasons playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got to win 2 games. Marcellus talks about it all the time. The game between your ears, the mind game, and the game on the actual field. The Browns know that, man, if we go out there against the Steelers, we get whooped. It doesn't matter in our years where we're sorry or years where we're great like this year. When we play the Steelers, we get whooped. So Kevin Stefanski's like, okay, you know what? We played the Steelers the very last game of the season. It is incredibly likely that that last game will have imminent meaning. That last game will have dominant, complete decision-making as far as are the Browns going to make it to the playoffs or not. I'm not going to sit here with Baker as a QB, let us get whooped, and let our entire team just understand with Baker we have no chance. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to bring in Case Keenum, see if he gives us a little bit of a spark, because that's all coaches need. Y'all got to understand. Coaches in meetings, they just got to find the silver lining to brag about. If Case Keenum goes out there and does well after the game, hey, Case Keenum, great drive. That's how we got to play every game like that. We got to start the next game how we finished the last game. Kevin Stefanski is playing chess. He's just trying to figure out, hey, let's make sure we win the mental battle even if we lose the physical one.
I'm glad we use the coaches as an example of how we're approaching this, because it proves my point to say that they were protecting Baker Mayfield in this scenario. If you pull Baker Mayfield out in that moment of time, you got to keep in mind, coaches always, they say don't make excuses. But I'm a coach, and I'll tell you, we have excuses, and we have multiple layers of excuses. You got to have a layer for the layer just in case something comes apart and you can't use the excuse and have it justified, right? You pull out Baker Mayfield because you're protecting him. That is the truth. If you go out there and Case Keenum plays well, then your excuse is, well, we pulled him to protect him, and we now know that we got a good backup in Case Keenum and possibly someone who can start until we figure out what our quarterback situation is, all right? He doesn't go out there and play well. So now my excuse kind of has to be prepared where I stay 2-3 steps ahead. Well, we put Case Keenum out there to get him some impactful reps, even though, you know, it didn't look like it turned out real well. And we protected Baker Mayfield. Hey, guys, in the locker room, hey, guys, let's stay together. Let's stick together, because Baker was injured. His ribs were probably worse than what you guys are aware of, and he went out there and we tried to get it. It's okay. Let's regroup. Let's get back to work. Baker will be better moving forward, okay? It's a built-in excuse situation, and that's the only way you can look at this scenario is you were positioning Baker to win no matter what happened, because the focus comes off of Baker Mayfield, and it's more about Stefanski's decision or Baker Mayfield's injury, not the fact that he has the inability to win the big game in his own division.
But you don't do that when you have Baker Mayfield and you know you have Case Keenum, who you've been with before and has success with, and the players know that as well. So you don't ever give him a chance to audition to put on that dress when you're in a committed relationship, if you know what I'm talking about.
If you're getting spanked, though, Marcellus.
You know, if you're getting spanked, look, I am a married man, and if my wife is wearing something, and either it looks amazing or, okay, and she knows what that means, but I ain't say it. But you know what I'm not gonna do?
But you still get in trouble the same exact way.
No, but I'm not.
If I don't say to my wife, you look amazing. If I say you look fine, I'm in trouble.
But you're making my point.
I ain't getting out of the way of it.
You're making my point without hearing my point. Well, I like that. Here's the thing. What you're not going to do is see that dress on somebody else and give them props. What you're not going to do is let somebody else come in your vicinity with that dress. Hey,
that is a heck of a point.
Case Keenum ain't putting this on for me to sit there and maybe say, or somebody, Odell and them like, oh, you not letting that happen. But if you let that happen, guess what? The psychology we're talking about, all of a sudden you have different loyalties or at least different temptations. And if Baker Mayfield's going to be your committed quarterback going forward, you got a little different issue.
May I just say that of all the things on this show, as the young resident single man, I do garner a lot of marital advice and wisdom from these two elder statesmen. So I just want to say thank you before my break. Coming up, the Eagles had a huge comeback before falling short on Sunday. I'm going to tell you why. They actually had a moral victory. Yes, a moral victory. That's next. Speak for yourself.
You've been down that road.